There's hella clouds and it's super gloomy, so it makes it a perfect day for a bummy day. I want to show you guys this new pickup I just got. It's for my girlfriend, so it is a smaller size and it is a woman's shoe. But here it is right here, the women's court purple. If you guys do want a Jordan 1 for the lows, here's this one. I think resale for this guy is only like $250. I was lucky to be able to get it for retail. Solid shoe. Go pick it up.
Nice chain, red bone mains, chain swing, like pretty.
What's good, guys? So Jake Paul just announced his next fight, and it's going to be against Tyron Woodley. Now, the majority of the people are obviously siding with Tyron Woodley, hoping that he wins, just exactly like me. But most people don't even know much about Tyron Woodley. Now, I want to explain to you guys today exactly why Tyron Woodley is more than likely going to beat Jake Paul, and also some major disadvantages towards Tyron Woodley, and I guess advantages for Jake Paul. So first off, let me tell you guys a little bit about Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley is a former UFC champion, so in no form is this man a bag of milk like Ben Askren, but he has been losing for the past 3 years in his career. Now, just because he's lost the past 3 years in a row, that doesn't mean he took like 10 fights each year and lost every single one. He's only fought 4 times these past 3 years. He also didn't lose to some complete slouches. He lost to some very, very good fighters, some of the top UFC fighters that are in right now. Tyron Woodley's current record in the UFC is 19-7-1. His most recent losses being to Usman, Burns, Colby Covington, and Vicente Luque. Now, 2 names on that list immediately stand out to me, Colby Covington and Usman, just because these guys are complete animals. In the UFC right now, they are probably some of the top fighters. So like I said before, he didn't lose to just some complete bums. He lost to some people who have legitimately have good runs in the UFC and could ultimately even be champions at some point again. So like I said, Tyron Woodley didn't fight some complete bums like Jake Paul has been fighting. He's actually fought some people, some champions, and some people who could legitimately make good runs at being champions in the UFC. So whenever you hear people saying that Tyron Woodley has lost every fight in the past 3 years, just know that he's only fought 4 times, and all 4 he's fought really above average fighters, all of them holding a positive fight record. I mean, just looking at Vicente Luque, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, but his record in the UFC as of right now is 27-1. Pretty solid record if you do ask me, and a pretty solid record if you ask anybody in the UFC. Now look at Colby Covington. This man is literally 16-2. That is probably one of the best records in the UFC as of right now. And then now we got Gilbert Burns, who just so happens to be 19-4. So it's not dropping off at all right now, the competition that he's fought. They've all been very solid fighters. And now finally, Kamaru Usman. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly again, but this man is literally 19-1. Probably one of the most vicious fighters in the UFC right now. So if you're gonna go lose to somebody, I'm not gonna go talk shit if you lost to this guy right here. And now the only things that I would have to say that really worry me about Woodley is that this man is not a boxer. Yes, he holds a record of 19-7. That is not a bad record at all. But I just want you guys also to know that this man is not a boxer. He is a wrestler. The majority of all his wins in the UFC were by takedowns and then just ground and pound. He also has a nice handful of wins by submissions as well. So you're now kind of seeing why Jake Paul chose Tyron Woodley. He's predominantly a wrestler and winner by submission and just ground and pound, which obviously you can't do any of that in boxing. So now you just completely took away one of his best attributes, being able to wrestle and grapple people. And not to mention that Jake Paul only gave him about a 2-month notice on this fight. So obviously that's pretty well for Jake Paul because it doesn't give him too much time, whereas Jake has had a couple years now, I think 2 years now at this point, of boxing. But it's not like Tyron Woodley has never, put on some gloves and done some boxing. I have some actual video footage right here of him boxing. I'm not sure how recent this is. This video was like, some of the videos in here do look a little bit old, but just so we could get an idea of what Tyron Woodley's capable of, we're going to check out this boxing footage right now. Now, by no form am I a freaking boxing champion or a freaking boxing coach, but I do my fair share of watching boxing, and I do know a little bit about boxing. Now, my only concerns about all this video that we're watching right now is that Tyron Woodley, yes, he does have some quick hands, and yes, he could pack a punch. The only thing that really worries me is that he keeps his hands down a whole bunch in this video. Now, I know that's being picky because this is only training, but like they say, you train the way you play. So, I mean, if he's training with his hands down when he's doing all these, like, you know, drills right now, more than likely he might be dropping his hands in the fight. Now, obviously, keeping your hands down isn't going to be the best move fighting against Jake, because predominantly he likes to put his left arm out to see how far you are, and then he goes with the over right hand, like he did with Ben Askren, I think like 3-4 times in a row, until he finally hit Ben Askren over the fucking dome.
Bang, right to the mother. Jake Paul sparred with former world cruiserweight contender.
But let's continue watching this video and see what else we could pick from Tyron Woodley's boxing footage. Now, obviously, this part right here is slowed down and sped up, but it's nice to see that this dude does have some pretty good reaction time, because he's going to need it for all those right overhand throws that Jake Paul's going to be throwing at him. But overall, all this footage that we're watching right now, it's pretty solid footage of him boxing for a guy who's predominantly a wrestler. Pretty solid footage. And like I said before, the only thing I really have to complain about this footage right here is just him not keeping his hands up. You don't want to train like that. You want to make sure that you keep your hands up, because if you're in the actual fight and you do that shit, you're gonna get cracked. With that being said, there's not too much for us to have to worry about Woodley fighting Jake Paul, especially with this new video that just came out from Floyd Money Mayweather. Now, we obviously know who Floyd Money Mayweather is, arguably one of the best boxers in the world, if not the best boxers in the world, beating some famous names like Conor McGregor, Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, some of the absolute best. With that being said, here's footage of Floyd being interviewed by a bunch of random reporters asking him about Jake Paul's fight and what he's hoping for, and this is what he had to say.
Give me Tyron Woodley. I'm gonna make sure I get in camp and I'm gonna train him.
Oh, so you want Tyron to finish
Woodley
it?
to come to Las Vegas and work with us.
All right.
Now, that's absolutely huge, simply just because the only thing I really had to pick was the fact that Tyron Woodley didn't really have his hands up when he was doing all those drills. And he's a bigger guy, so I kind of worry about the right overhands that Jake's going to be throwing. Can he dodge him? Does he have a quick enough reaction time? Floyd could fix all of that. That's what Floyd is absolutely perfect at. He's good at keeping his hands up. He's good at dodging. That's why he's 50-0. And now Woodley would be absolutely stupid if he didn't take this deal from Floyd, in which obviously he did take it, and here's the footage of that.
Mayweather said today he'll be happy to train with you.
They just text me, let's do it. We up.
So you gonna be at Mayweather gym?
I just talked to him today. So for sure, why would I not train with the greatest boxer of all time? He's already my dog. We've been talking about training anyway, so for sure, definitely gonna take him up on that.
That's absolutely insane and amazing, just because Tyron Woodley is gonna be getting help from one of the best boxers, if not the best boxer in the world. And it's not like Tyron Woodley is a slouch either, like the past people Jake has fought. Deji, that was a pretty close fight, but I mean, it wasn't really like a legitimate fight. Then he fought Gibbs, and Gibbs was a complete clown. Don't even know who that guy's coach was. Then we had Ben Askren, who was like retired for, I don't know, maybe 5 years, and was just completely out of shape. But now we actually have somebody who's in shape and will put in that work. He's a proven champion, so his work ethic is gonna be there. Overall, my predictions, now that Floyd is here helping him, I do feel like there is a very, very solid chance that Woodley is gonna win this. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, whether if you think this is going to be a closer fight, or if you think because Floyd's now getting involved that this is just going to be a blowout by Woodley. I want to say thank you guys so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. Literally just yesterday we were at 100, and now we're at 111. Means a whole lot. If you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, hit subscribe too. We're going to continue to grow. Thank you so much. Peace.